Good afternoon, children. Nutrition Part 3, Parasitic Nutrition. We have watched the topic in the TSAT channel successfully. Very good. Here, now I want to bring some more details about the same topic now. Heterotrophic nutrition. It is also nothing but parasitic nutrition. In living world, all type of living organisms capable to survive under different conditions and acquire their food in different ways. Plants are capable the capturing of the light, which is known as solar energy, and converts the smaller amount of these inorganic constituents and convert the chemical compound. The process is called as photosynthesis. So this process called as photosynthesis in generally. The nutrition process is known as here autotrophic. Why? Because it not depend on any other organism. It acquire the inorganic constituents which are available in the atmosphere or in the nature. So those constituents, inorganic constituents, will be utilized by the plant by itself. Hence, the plants are considered as autotrophs. It not depend on any other things except the constituents, inorganic constituents. That's why these are called as autotrophic nutrition. Whereas heterotrophic nutrition. In heterotrophic nutrition, the organisms which are known as animal kingdom and one plant also, one plant and remaining all animal considered as heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophs. The nutrition process called as heterotrophic nutrition. Thus, all organisms are called as heterotrophs. Heterotrophs. First of all, we will see how do organisms obtain their nutrition depending on availability of the food, and organisms take the food and use it. Some organisms break down, some organisms sucking, some organisms swallow, some organisms kill the other organisms also. Like this, different ways also is there. First of all, we will see autotroph. Autotrophs example is plants on the green plants. The green plants are having a pigment that's called as chlorophyll pigment in the leaves. That's why the leaves are appeared as green color. Plants are capable to perform the photosynthesis process. Hence, these are called as autotrophic. These autotrophs, when it is following the nutrition process, that's called as autotrophic nutrition. Already I mentioned here. The plants are having the green color pigment in its leaf. It's called as chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is useful to harvest the sunlight, and through the stomata it receives the CO2 from atmosphere. Through the roots, the water also and nutrients also, salts etc. will be received by the root system, and all will be reached to the leaf and perform the photosynthesis process. Hence, it is called as autotrophic nutrition, because not depend on any other thing, other animal. That's why these are called. It can synthesize by their own, so it is called as autotrophic nutrition. Secondly, heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition is nothing but the organisms can't depend on heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophs are considered as animal kingdom along with one plant also. Here it is surprising news for us. Plants generally involved in the photosynthesis process, but here one plant is there that's called as daughter plant. This is also considered as a parasite plant. Okay, now we will try to understand the heterotrophic nutrition. So can't prepare its food by their own. This type of organisms. That's why it's called as heterotrophic nutrition. The organism is called as heterotrophs. It is classified into three categories: parasitic nutrition and saprophytic nutrition, and the last one is the mixed nutrition. First one is parasitic nutrition, secondly saprozoic nutrition, third mixed nutrition. Now we try to understand about parasitic nutrition. You may have an idea about parasite, which depend on other organisms called as a parasite. So we have say so many examples about parasites, and first of all, mosquito and many more in our stomach, tapeworm, externally mosquito. So like this, number of organisms are considered as parasites. But we will see first of all from the plant kingdom onwards. One of the plant is also considered as a parasite. How? We will see the detailed manner. That plant name is dodder. It is called as in Telugu Bangaru Tigeru. Why? Because these appearance, the color appearance is in golden yellow, hence it is called as a Bangaru Tigelu in Telugu also. Generally it's called a dodder plant, and in English Cuscuta. It belongs to Convolvulaceae family. It is also called as morning glory plant. Morning glory plant. Because the petals are appeared as the ball-like structure, nodule-like structure. It should be formed as nodules. That's why these are appeared as some bright color. Hence, these are called morning glory family. Anyhow, these type of plant also have the leaves, but no use at all, because it doesn't consist chlorophyll pigment in its leaves. The leaves also should be shortened, reduced as scales. Scale means the fish and snake consisting the scales on its body. So like this scale shape of the leaves are present, it was reduced. So, and no use at all, and no pigment also, chlorophyll pigment also. That's why it is considered as a parasitic plant. Did you understand? Now, in detail, this plant extends its root-like structures into the host plant, other plant, for purpose of food material, water from the xylem of other plant, and nutrients from the phloem of the same plant. That's why it is considered as a parasite. Doesn't get by its own, depend on other plant, Cuscuta. Hence it is called as parasitic plant. As well as when it is sucking this all water as well as nutrients from this plant, the plant will die afterwards. Then it spreads to other plant also. This is a small plant only. It twines around the branches and the trunk of the tree and spreads everywhere and occupy the tree also. And the main tree may not appear, but on that this Cuscuta plant will appear as a twined spiral shaped structure we have seen on these big trees because of this Cuscuta. Next thing, saprophytic nutrition. Here, saprophyte means break down the food material outside of the body of an organism. This is possible in fungal organism, fungus only. Can you say examples of fungus? Mushroom, red mold, yeast are considered as fungus only. So these type of organisms may not synthesize by their own its food, but which is available in surrounding areas, that food will be break down by itself and taken through the body surface. So this is known as saprophytic nutrition. Saprophytic nutrition. Example: mushroom, bread mold, and yeast. Thirdly, mixed type of nutrition. You know the shape of slipper. Can you give the name of an organism which is present in the shape of slipper? That is called as paramecium. The paramecium is known as slipper animalcule. This is consisting on its body cilia. By the help of cilia, it collects the food material and the food is entered into the cytostome. It is act as a mouth, and the food is entered into the cytostome and spreads to the entire body. It moves around the body, inside the body, and the digestion process taking place. At the same time, which is not digested should be expelled outside. So this process is it can't synthesize by their own and depend on other. Hence, it is called as mixed type of nutrition. Mixed type of nutrition. Next, one more microorganism, amoeba. Paramecia is having the shape, but amoeba doesn't have proper shape, and it can change its shape at every moment, and it is extend its structure from its body. Those are called as pseudopodia. Pseudo means temporary, podia means foot. Pseudopodia will be extend from its body and occupy the food material and engulf in its body, mixing in its body. That's why this around the food will be formed as a sac-like structure, and in the sac only it will be digested. Later on, which is not digested, it should be expelled outside in the form of diffusion. You know the meaning of diffusion. Diffusion is nothing but movement of ions from higher concentration to lower concentration. In the same manner here, the concentrated unwanted material which is present in its body should be expelled outside. It is one of the example of the mixed type of nutrition. And now we will come to invertebrates. Up to now, paramecia and amoeba will be considered as unicellular, whereas now what we are going to see invertebrate. In invertebrate, annelida is there. Annelida, what is the example of annelida? Earthworm. You see the earthworm in damp areas where moisturized places. So this earthworm will eat away the dead parts of plants and animals mainly, which is present in the soil. So it will eat away the waste material which is available in the soil, as well as it excretes the waste. In excretion of its earthworm, 40% of urea is there. This is highly useful to the farmer, and at the free of cost, the urea will be provided to the farmer by the earthworm. Hence, the earthworm is called as friend of farmer. Friend of farmer. So, in Telugu, it is also called as Raitu Mitra. Now, we are going to see another organism, that is arthropoda, phylum arthropoda. Just now we have seen the annelida, phylum annelida. Now we will see the phylum arthropoda. What are the examples of arthropoda? What is the meaning of arthropoda? Arthropods means jointed leg, the organism which consisting the jointed legs. Hence it is called as arthropods. Which are examples of arthropods? Insects. Okay. About insects, mosquito, housefly are considered as examples of these arthropods. The legs of this housefly and the mosquito will be jointed. It is not one part, it is jointed. Hence, it is called as arthropods. Here, if you take an example, at evening time at 7 and 8 o'clock, you may get this type of problem with the mosquitoes. The mouth parts of mosquito is suitable to poke in your body and sucks the blood. You have to remember one point here, that is only female mosquitoes. Only female mosquitoes poke its mouth part and suck the blood. It is one type of variety. And in the same category, male mosquito is there. It may not reach to the human being or animal kingdom at all. It depends on only plants. It poke its mouth part in the plant body and suck the plant juices, cell sap, cell sap. So that is a little deviation is there in between the two organisms which are belongs to same category. And now housefly. Housefly also belongs to arthropod only. Whereas here housefly do not get any other blood etc. But here it likes to eat some sweet substances. It likes sweet nature, but it won't take solid material of the sweet. But here it secretes one type of secretion from its mouth, which is known as simply saliva. And in the saliva, the food material, the sweet substance will be digested, mixing. And when it is dissolved, the solid material, the sweet substance in its saliva, then dissolved sweet substance should be taken through its mouth part. Okay, this is one type of variety. And another one which belongs to is arthropod only. That is nothing but cockroach. Cockroach is having another type of acquiring the food. How? It will break the food material or cut the food material into pieces and taking inside the mouth. This is one type of process which observed in mosquitoes, cockroach. That's why this type of cockroaches movement you have seen at night in our kitchen and somewhere. Next thing, vertebrates. Vertebrates, first example is fishes. Fishes will eat away the small plants which are considered as algal with its small tiny teeth structures. These are also nothing but teeth only. Here this is one type of process we have seen in fishes. Secondly, frog. Frog, it extends its tongue, tip of the tongue having a sticky nature substance, and it will hold the insect which is moving around its body. Then it will swallow the insect with the help of tongue. And third one is reptiles, which are belongs to vertebrates only. First one fish, second amphibian, frog, and third one is reptiles. Can you say examples of reptiles? Snake, lizard, crocodile. These are all are examples of reptiles. Now we'll see the big snake. What is that name? Python. Python, the mouth parts are facilitated to swallow any type of organism. It opens its mouth and swallows the organism. First of all, it will hold the organism with its body, and when organism is doesn't fight with the python, simply to open its mouth and swallowing slowly, and the mouth parts are facilitated to swallow entire body of organism. That is specialty is there in python, and it will move, crawl gently towards a tree, and it winds its body around the trunk or branch of the tree till the digestion should be completed. Up to that time it won't move. And you see the best example of wall lizard. It will move near the lights. Near the light you may find out movement of insects. Then when the insect is present it front and it move gently and capture this insect. This is one type of food habit. And fourth one is invertebrates, aves, also called as birds. Birds are using its beak to prick the grains. Mostly some of birds likes to follow only grains, such as pigeon and parrot. Many more are there. These likes to follow, prick the grains with the help of beak. The beak is very sharp, and useful to pick the grains. Whereas eagle is there. This eagle hooked beak. The hooked beak of eagle is useful to tear the flesh of an organism. It try to hold it with its leg and tear the flesh of organism. This is a type of nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition. And last one is mammal. In mammal, we have seen some type of livestock. Livestock are nothing but animal kingdom. Animal kingdom is nothing but except human. The remaining all are which are domesticated. These are all are called as livestock. In this, first of all, we will see the buffalo, goat, sheep, etc. These are all organisms have the three type of teeth only. Incisors are well developed to cut the grass or leaves. Incisors. Canines are absent in its organism, whereas incisors are well developed in its mouth of this livestock. Grazing animals, herbivores, simply called as herbivores. You know what is the meaning of herbivores, also called as grazing animal, buffalo, cow, etc. This type of organisms cuts the grass or leaves with the help of incisors and swallowing. Later on, when it is sitting leisure under the trees at shade at noon, it brings back its food material what was swallowed by itself. This process called as rumination. That's why buffalo, cow are considered as ruminants. It's swallowing during eating. Afterwards, at leisurely, it brings back its food material in its mouth and chewing itself. That's why it's called as a rumination. Then here in this organisms, herbivores, incisors, premolar and molar are playing a major role to chew the food. Canines are absent because these are herbivores only. Canines are well developed in carnivores, example tiger. This type of carnivores, dog, tiger, hyena, these all are considered as carnivores. In these carnivores, canines are well developed. The canines will, upper jaw is having two canine and lower jaw also having two canine. This with the help of four canines, it catch the prey and tear the flesh and it will eat away. It is specialty of well developing of canines should be seen only in carnivores. And the last one is human being, mammal. What is the meaning of mammal? These all are mammal only. What is the meaning of mammal? Mammal is nothing but which give birth to young ones and fed with its milk is known as mammal. Okay, human is best example of mammal. Remaining all organisms are mammal only. First of all, we'll see the human being. In human being, four type of teeth is there. ICPM, incisors, canine, premolar and molar. Upper jaw is having two incisors, one canine, two premolar and three molar. Totally 8. Upper jaw is having 8 teeth and another half is having 8. Totally 16 present in upper jaw, 16 present in lower jaw. Totally 32 teeth is present in our mouth. With the help of this 4 type of teeth as well as 3 type of salivary glands which is present in our mouth cavity. One pair is sublingual, is present at the tip of the tongue down, whereas back of our jaw, submaxillary and near the ear, down of the ear, inside only, parotid glands. Totally 3 pairs of salivary glands and 4 type of teeth and tongue. These 3 organs will help in chewing and processing in a digestion in mouth only. Yet after that, here the food will be entered into the pharynx. Above this pharynx, you may notice one thing. A flap-like structure is that's called as epiglottis. When food is moving from mouth cavity to throat region above the, we have find out pharynx, epiglottis. Epiglottis helping to prevent the falling of food material. So it goes to directly into the pharynx. Pharynx is nothing but junction box, and from junction box to or pharynx to it goes to the esophagus. In esophagus there is no digestion process. It is moving gently as in the form of peristalsis. Then from peristalsis through the peristalsis movement it goes to stomach. Again in stomach two type of uh, secretions and three type of muscles which is present in the stomach will churn the food. So that food is known as chyme, and the chyme goes to the small intestine through the pyloric sphincter. So the pyloric sphincter, when it is entered in at regulated manner, reaches the small intestine. Again, in the beginning part of the small intestine, which is known as duodenum. In the duodenum, two type of secretions of our body should be reached inside the this small intestine or duodenum. The first part, gall. You know the liver. The liver is secreting a juice which is known as bile. The bile is useful to change the fat into the smaller units which is known as fat globule. It is useful for our body to give energy. So the changing of fat by the help of bile juice which is secreted by the liver is known as emulsification. Emulsification. And another thing is there, pancreas. The pancreas are in the shape of leaf. So this part also secretes its secretions into the duodenum, the first part of small intestine. The first part of small intestine, duodenum. Second part is known as ileum, and third part is known as jejunum, and it is joins to the large intestine. Okay, the pancreas secrete three type of secretions that is called as pancreatic amylase, trypsin, and lipase. So amylase also works on again carbohydrates, and trypsin works on peptones, and lipase works on the fats into fatty acids and changes into glycerol, fatty acids and glycerol. So like this process takes place. Whereas another thing is there, that is nothing but walls of intestine also playing major role. The walls of intestine secretes two type of secretions. Walls of intestine secretes sucrase, and secondly peptidase. Peptidase and sucrase. The peptidase works on peptides and changes as amino acids, and secondly this sucrase works on the glucose and changes as the small important substance what is giving to our body energy, that is nothing but glucose only. So sucrase works on sucrose and changes as glucose. So like this the process taking place in the digestion. First step is nothing but mastication, second is digestion, third one is absorption which takes place in the small intestine. The villi plays major role to absorb, as well as fourth one is assimilation. Assimilation is utilize the useful substance by our body to our activities, daily activities. And last one is defecation. So defecation is nothing but expel the unwanted material from our body. So 5 steps are involved in our digestion process. So like this type of heterotrophic nutrition should be observed in human being. In this connection, if we have any doubt, you can approach me through phone. Thank you.